Now I want to go over some objections that we're getting daily and we should be masters of. Okay. So they already got that taken care of. Perfect. Which one of our carriers did you go with? And I know some other agents say like, oh, awesome. Now, if I can find something that makes the exact same amount of sense and gives you the exact same amount of coverage, but is cheaper, wouldn't it be worth your time? That also works. I didn't say it perfect, but that works. But those aren't working as much as they were working. We need to come up with something different. So y'all have to be willing to try something different. If you do it 3 times today and get hung up on all 3 times, on the 4th time, let's try it differently. Like, don't just like be a broken record, right? Oh, wait. You got me confused with Medicare. Oh, wait. Hold on. Why does it say that you're 5'2", 180? And you're lying on their weight. It's probably like 220. You say 180, they're like, I don't weigh 180. No, I know you weigh 220, but I wanted to make sure it was you. I don't know. Like, that's some bullshit I just made up right now. But I've already got it. I have it taken care of. Found insurance. Those ones right there, we're having a lot of them. Okay. Or I never filled it out. They don't remember filling it out yesterday. They didn't do it. They're not lying. They did. They just don't remember. But that's not the objection. The question you need to ask them is, did you get it taken care of or not? If it's not, then we're on the call for a reason. Like, I don't know what brought us together, but we're here. So let's just make the best of it. So we need to think about those things now moving forward. Now,
So all that is to say that it'll be really important for you guys to stay sharp and make sure when you're getting on, and starting to dial, that you may run into more FUs. You may run into more I got it. Not may, you will, right? But that's okay. Don't just take that. It's really important, like what Cody was saying earlier. Don't just take that as, oh, you got it, okay, and just lob something out there at them. Don't take it as, oh, okay, well, thanks for calling, or I was good talking to you. Don't just let them off the hook. Sharpen your sword and get better with really trying to overcome that. And it's not really overcoming even necessarily. It's getting them to conversate. Don't go in, guns a-blazing and tell them, well, no, you did fill it out. You did fill it out. The one huge thing with sales is you have to avoid becoming combative. What that means is you don't want to argue with them. And the last thing you want to do, especially in the first 60 seconds, is start arguing with, no, you filled it out, damn it, you stupid idiot. Right? That's not going to do you any good. You want to go in and just agree with them. Oh, okay, yeah, but I mean, I do have your information here. I mean, we clearly recorded your IP address, so I can see where you're at. It shows you're at, you're in such and such state, and you actually put your beneficiary down. I can absolutely assure you, with experience, I can tell you that working age leads will make you 10 times better when you're dealing with brand new leads. Because when you hear those stupid objections from somebody who just filled it out, you're going to be quick on the draw and keep them from hanging up. Because some of this is just timing. Some of this is just the tone of your voice. It's so silly. I agree. Every one of us would probably, if we filled out a form, the first person we talk to, we'd probably buy insurance from them. But we're talking to a guarded sector of people that don't want to be sold, that have put this off there all their life, and they love to watch The Price is Right, So it's when it comes down to it, sometimes it just takes a different voice, and sometimes it's just timing. Simple as that. So
That guy that you talked about earlier that we didn't get along that day, I called him back the next day by mistake, didn't know who he was. We went through the whole pitch.
mm-hmm.
And
Exactly.
it still didn't match quite.
Mm-hmm.
It's like he went from 100 grand to 50 grand. And then by the time Danny talked to him, he was at 25 grand and he got him like whatever he got him. But he had to go through those steps. We wanted to kill each other on the first call. We got through the whole call, just couldn't place him. And then Danny sold them.
Sometimes you got to talk to people with the deep voice, and sometimes you got to talk to them really softly, and just kind of walk them through it. A great thing, or something that I used to do whenever I was selling all the time, is I would focus really hard on slowing down, and I would just focus on being calm and explaining it to them, making sure I got the soft closes, the good yes, the solid feeling of them understanding. And some people you got to go kind of quick because they're ready to buy.
So, okay. Is there any objections that y'all feel like y'all are having as of recent or late that you're just like, man, I don't know what to do. I can't overcome it. It's stupid. It's easy, but I'm not able to do it.
Not so much an objection, but let's say you're asking the questions, getting all the information. You're asking about the venue. You're asking about, everything sounds good in words, but the feeling just isn't there. You just feel like this person is just giving me, she's just giving me words. She's just giving me words, man. And I just don't think that she's going to go through with this.
So that's, we're going to, oh, go ahead. Keep going.
Do you cut bait? Do you just go through the entire process and then at the end not be surprised when she doesn't give anything?
Great question. Amazing answer. That's not, I didn't create this answer. It just makes sense. Just when you start to get that feeling, start to do soft closes. Like, now let me ask Linda, I understand that you need this and reiterate the stuff that you've learned, right? If Linda's 69, she's never had insurance, she knows she needs it because her nephew died and she doesn't want to die without anything because she had to pitch in, right? So let me ask Linda, does it make sense that you want to put this in place because you don't want to leave that burden behind that was left behind for you when your nephew died and you had to pitch in? Is that what you're saying? Okay, perfect. Then you keep going and you get that feeling. Then you say, now, like we said, Linda, it's more important that we fit the budget than the amount of coverage you want, right? So if we find an amount that fits your budget and it makes sense and you can qualify, is there any reason why you wouldn't want to get it? There's another soft close. And every time you start to feel like she's pulling away, you soft close her with some type of close. And at the end, when she doesn't do it, you're like, wait, what? I did everything you asked me to do. What is it? You don't like me? And then she's like, no, 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 it's not you. It's the what? It's the what? We covered the price. We covered the budget. We covered the life insurance. We covered the need. We covered everything. So why do you think you have to pay today? Is that what it is? Well, you don't have to pay today. We're on Social Security billing, right? But whenever you start to feel that spidey sense tingling, I always stop right there. Ryan shuts his camera off when he's whatever, and he takes some deep breaths. And whenever I start to feel the feeling, that's when you start to hear me be me. And I'm like real super honest and, upfront with these people. I'm not doing that until I know it's time to do it. Like, I don't come out the gate like, motherfucker, you buying insurance or not? You know what I mean? Like, salesmen at Lamborghini, when you walk in, they expect you to buy a Lamborghini. Like, they don't expect people to come in to walk around and just test drive a Lamborghini, right? Like, there's an expectation that you're there to buy a Lamborghini, right? So the salesman's not like super pressuring you to like, what are you looking at? You like it? Do you want to test drive it? You know what I mean? Like, they're not doing that. So you don't want to do that with these people. But at some point, if you're walking around for 3 hours, like, okay, bro, what can I help you with? Are you trying to steal my Lamborghinis or what? Like, you got to ask the question. Just ask don't rip the Band-Aid off and ask. Don't sit and worry and wait and be scared. Like, ask the question, because if you don't, you're never going to know the answer.
Your
Right?
first call this morning is a great example because I probably would have been on that call for like at least 20 minutes, where he was on the call for 5 minutes, not even, because he asked all the questions and she's like, well, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. And finally he was like, well, what, you just
What do
gonna
you know?
and she got a little offended, but I mean, he saved himself 15 minutes, and he was able to get off the phone, get right on to another call, and make a sale.
And I was able to dispo her as a loser so I don't waste my time tomorrow or the next day or 2 days from now, right? Like what Ryan said a while ago is super important to understand. You don't need to dispo these people and get rid of them because it could be the time of day that's not right for them. It could be your voice. It could be that you're a male or not a female. It could be the school pickup line. It could be their period. Like literally, it could be anything that they're craving chocolate. You know what I mean? Like it could be any reason or excuse. That's why they've waited this long. They're going to continue to procrastinate unless somebody stands in front of him and is like, I'm trying to help you. Hello, do you see me here? Do you want my help or not? Because I can't want to help you more than you want to help yourself. Then sometimes they turn their camera off and take a deep breath and they're like, okay, I'm ready. Yes, I want your help. Right? But if you're not there with a flag sometimes, like that's what they need. And other times, they just need a real person that's from America to pick up the phone and make them feel safe. Like you're not trying to steal their information. Right? So you have to pick and choose at the beginning. That's why I tell you in the first 3 minutes, you need to know who you're talking to. Because if you know who you're talking to, the rest of the pitch is light work. As Preston says, that's easy, baby. Okay? It's easy because you know the rest of the conversation, how you have to structure it to talk to that person. But if you don't know your numbers, if you don't know how to overcome the objections, if you don't know how to just speak up for yourself and ask them an honest question and stop the whole we're faking it till we make it bullshit and just have a conversation, it's hard. It really is not very easy to do. Right? So that's every week I give a TED Talk, guys. I like it. So that's my TED Talk.
And this is, I will add one extra thing. Again, the structure of the whole system, the pool and everything. Think of it this way. You work your ass off for somebody and you spend 15 minutes with them. They won't tell you anything. And by the end of it, they give you what you know is a bullshit reason and you just can't overcome it. The massive advantage you guys have is you have more than enough leads to dial. All it takes is getting back on the phone. Release the BS from the last call, right? Let it go. You got more leads to dial. Leave every call feeling like you did everything you could or as much as you could and move on to the next call. As long as you do that, you should be able to go to sleep at night. Now, when you reflect on those calls and you're like, well, I could have done this, I could have said Cody's line, or I could have done that. If you're doing that every single day where you're looking back on calls and thinking, oh, I could have done this, well, then you're not doing enough on calls. And that's okay. As long as you're not doing that over and over and over again and saying, well, I just suck at this, right? It doesn't mean you suck. Just means you're not willing to do what it takes in order to become a Cody.
I'm not special, guys. I just do it every day. That's the only difference.
Well, I mean, he did ride the short bus for a little while, so he's special in one way, but all things considered.
My mom did drugs when she had me, so what do you expect?
Now it's becoming a therapy session, right? No, but in all seriousness, right? Like it's not easy to pop off with the crap that Cody comes off with because he's been doing it a while. He's been doing it a long while, right? And he's got that confidence of what he's saying, meaning he knows he's trying to do the best for them. Is get that confidence that you did fill it out. You do need this. You don't have anything. If you are the authority figure and lead the call instead of them dragging you along and trying to tell you what they want or that they don't need it. I mean, clearly if someone doesn't need it and they're telling you they don't need it, well, then you're wasting your time. We're not trying to make up a need for them. That doesn't mean be a jerk and boss them around. Be willing to do what it takes in order to become that next level of salesmanship. If you can have 10 conversations today and only one of them you feel like Cody and I would critique and maybe have something to say, that's a good day. If you go an entire day and you talk to 10 people and 7 out of 10, you feel like, yeah, they probably would have something to say on that. Then that's a problem. That's a you problem. So if you continue to do the same things just because you're doing the script doesn't mean that guarantees you a sale. You utilizing the script in order to make the sale is how you become a Cody. Thank you.
Now, yes, bow your head and see your baldness. Now, I do want to ask in accordance to like all of these things that we talk about, right? Because if you can see, every single week we cover something that kind of leads into the next week and leads into the next week and leads into the next week, kind of like it's a plan, right? So 3 weeks ago, we gave you the objection handling guide, right? People have been able to overcome more objections. 2 weeks ago, we implemented the referral script, and I've had 2 agents make sales off referrals. This week, we're talking about, these first 2 objections and things of that nature, right? So like everything is leading to kind of make sense for you. So if there's something along the way from 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago where you're stuck on and you're not able to overcome that, it's going to be harder and harder for each week for y'all to like pick up the new session, the new lesson, and make it help you and move forward with it. So like make sure that you come to us and talk about that, right? Like for whatever it is. Luke did say today, I said, Bo, I want to tell you congratulations about yesterday. Not only did you take my spot on the leaderboard, but you sold good policies with good AP. What's different from yesterday than last week? And he said, I just came in with the confidence that I knew I'm the professional and that I can do this. This guy's been doing this for 4 years, bro. Okay, so it's not like he doesn't know how to sell insurance. It's just that we all like fall into slumps or shitty routines or bad eating habits or whatever it is. And sometimes it's like we put everything else first and we neglect our work, or we put our work first and we neglect everything else, right? So for one day, that's all he needs is one day of confidence of making a couple of sales, and then he can kind of like set the rest of his week, set the rest of his month. The expectation, the skill is there. He just now has the confidence to use the skill and have the expectation to keep himself on track. They said they have a whole life policy for 15,000 and they're only paying 69, and I can't beat it. You don't sound very certain. I can beat it. I know I can beat it. I don't know what I have to say to beat it, but I can beat it. But I'm certain I'll beat it. So you have to figure that out. Like you can't just say, man, I couldn't beat it. Their price was too good. You know what I mean? Like you got to ask additional questions. You got to get additional information. You can't like argue with them about it. But you got to give them facts, spit facts that'll actually put them in a position to get them where they want to go. That makes sense. Cool. All right, guys, that's all I got. And underwriting. That's another thing I want to cover, but we'll cover that next week. So if you do have underwriting questions, please come to me. But don't let your underwriting be the reason that you're not getting approvals because you're not working on underwriting, right? That's silly. Okay. Cool.
Roger.
Over and out. David Beckham signing off.